Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, so for people who are listening, you heard, and for people who are watching, you see the third member, now officially the third member of the Gloves Off Seattle podcast. It was a little unofficial before, but we have officiated him in. I don't know how, but there you go. You're official, Brian.
I was put on the
Brian,
press.
yay!
I was put on the press pass, kind of.
That's right. He was put on the press pass.
Yeah.
Which is actually what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the jersey release, the media thing, all the things. So Brian, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. And it's been a big week, guys. It's been a huge week for
Historic week
for PWHL Seattle. So and we according to the press release, before the season starts, we will not have to call them PWHL Seattle anymore. So we've heard that. Well, okay, I'm going to back up. So what happened was it Monday?
Yeah, I think it was Monday. And then
so Monday we got news that they were going to have a media event where they were going to release the inaugural jersey. So we didn't know if we were going to get a name. We didn't know. And so it was during the day on Tuesday, correct? In the morning.
In the morning on Tuesday.
Yeah, in the morning on Tuesday. And so Patti and I both had to work. And so Brian, in all of his glory, was free and available and said yes to going down to the event that was at Climate Pledge.
Seriously, one day's notice is not enough notice for people who have jobs.
For people who have full-time jobs
Yeah.
that work. It is a little hard. I get like the press corps is not in the same boat as we are, but we are a little, press adjacent is what I'd like to say.
Yes. And luckily, Brian's hard job, he could take a little break from and get some help and be in our stead, stand in our stead. And I'm so happy about that.
Yes. So Brian.
And my wife is very helpful in like making sure that our daughter was taken care of, because there was a little bit of illness running through the family. But it was interesting because like the night before, you were like, oh well, I guess Brian's going to go, and you contacted the team and got permission for me to go in your stead. And oh my god, like what I need to do? I was getting out my my old camera because I'm like, oh, there's going to be a photo shoot as part of this. I need to get my camera ready. I'm like charging up these batteries. I hadn't used my camera in probably a year. And then I was like, oh man, no one's going to know who I am because they've only seen Meagan and Patti. Like I've been on one episode of Meagan and Patti. So I made myself, I like printed out a little, like a button. Well, not a little button. I printed out a big button that had Gloves Off Seattle logo on it. I'm like, okay, now people will know I'm on the Gloves Off Seattle team. So yeah,
Brian, we say your name every
episode.
This.
Like we should clink glasses. And we're like,
right.
Okay, Brian.
But they don't necessarily know what I look like. So I'm like, I'm gonna give myself a button so that when I walk up to them,
that button is like a huge. It's part of the lore now. So that button is very important, Brian.
Yeah. We have little buttons. We have little itty bitty buttons made, and we actually haven't seen Brian in person. This is so funny, guys. This is just for people who don't live here and know about Seattle. Like he lives on the north side of Seattle, and we live way far south of Seattle. So it is just, unless we're at an event of some sort or a game of some sort, like it's just not convenient for us to like run into one another. But anyway,
I feel like I live at the North Pole of PWHL Seattle World, and you live at the South Pole of.
Really true.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, about it.
World. So anyway, like I took the I took the morning commuter bus down to CPA, and I got there a little bit early. And it was interesting. Like I'm like, oh man, the seasons are really changing. Like there's all these leaves, and there's like a crew out there with their leaf blower. And I'm like, oh man, it's like the team is arriving with the turning of the seasons. And then when the players come out to do the scrum, they're like 100 feet away from the leaf blower that's
Oh my
going on.
gosh.
So most of the audio that we got from the from that scrum was pretty unusable. Although Ava,
Yeah,
like,
our friend Ava, for those we call her Ava, you call her
365
365
hockey girl.
but we call her Ava. Go ahead.
she was able to use some like crazy witchcraft filters for some shorts that or reels that she made from that, and was able to somehow exclude this uh, leaf blower. That was absolutely crazy. But it was very interesting to meet the players in that way. It's
Yeah.
just a little bit awkward, right? Like you have
Well, and
this.
you didn't get to go to the first media event, Brian. So
I
like
I
didn't.
haven't been to either one.
yeah,
Let's
Patty
just
didn't get to go to
that.
either one, but like Brian didn't get to go to the first media event, and that was like I was like, "Ooh, Brian gets to go! Yay!" Like I'm so
Yeah,
excited because you didn't get to go the first time. So
yeah.
okay, go
But I
ahead.
felt like it was a little bit awkward at first, right? Because this is like the first time in like an official scrum that the media is meeting with these players, and it's kind of like no one knew who's supposed to go first, like who's supposed to ask the first question.
Okay, I'm
There
gonna
was
fix
like
my
this.
face because my face is like, "Where's the PR person? Why was the PR person not managing this?"
No. She did, like she did,
Okay.
but like I think the PR person had only been on the job for 2 days, so like
Yeah, yeah.
I got to talk with her, and
So who
but
asked the first question?
I forget. I'd have to go back. I think I ended up asking the second one. My plan going in was like, I'm going to wait to the end because like, or maybe not even ask a question. But then there was this pause, and it was like, so I'm like, oh, I got to fill this silence. So I asked a question really early, but I didn't. It was a little bit weird because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a media member. Like, so you're supposed to announce like,
So you were perfect because we
Yeah,
wouldn't have
we
any
were in the
idea
same row.
either.
yeah, you're supposed to announce like who you're with.
You're
Like,
with, yeah.
Kate Shefty from the Seattle Times was there. It was like Kate Shefty, Seattle Times.
Yeah.
But I was the second person asking the question. I didn't really click in to do that, so I didn't mention Gloves Off Seattle when I asked my questions. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and like Hillary Knight is amazing. Like the situation was a little bit awkward, especially with all the leaf blower noise.
Yeah.
But she was just like cool. She just like
She's very poised. I would agree.
yeah,
Like very much
totally,
professional in front of the camera. Yeah.
yes, and was able to get through that. And I will say the photos from that location, like some of the photographers there were a little bit worried because they set us up so that we could get images of them with the Space Needle in the background. And a lot of them were
Yes,
really
it's now our cover photo. Come on, the one that you took is
a
now
lot
our
of them
cover
were a
photo.
little bit worried because they had because it was really backlit, but it turned out really well. Like if you just adjusted, cameras these days are really good at dealing with that. And so all the players were kind of like nicely backlit, and you just bring up the shadows a little bit in the photo editor, and they looked great. Like the players ended up looking great. And then after that big scrum, they took us to another a little bit. This was at Climate Pledge Arena.
Second location. They took you to a second location.
And the sound was much better there.
Yeah.
And I kind of messed it up again. The light was so low. I was on the way walking to the second location. I talked with Corinne Schroeder a little bit, and she mentioned, I was like, oh, this is your first time in Seattle, because the team had uploaded a clip where she said that she hadn't been to Seattle before. And she was talking about how she had family in the Vancouver area, and that she was excited that they would be able, then she was like hanging out with them or staying with them for a while before she came down here. And that she was excited that the family was going to be able to see her games more often than when she was in New York. And then I was like, okay, that's really cool. And I told her that, I also had family in BC and how great it is to travel back and forth. And, if I could do an interview with her, she's like, oh yeah. And the first time I recorded it, I messed it up. There's so much glare coming from the sun on my phone. I could vaguely see the outline of her face. I was like, oh man, like, I realized once I was done, I looked down and I hit the record button to stop, and I'm like, oh, that just started a recording. So I probably just missed all of that. But I scurried back, and I was like, there was so much glare, like I need to record that. And she was very cool about letting me re-record our interview. But there wasn't a lot of time. Like I maybe could have gotten in 2 interviews if I hadn't messed up the first one. but instead I just
But we
got the.
talked about had all three of us been there, like we could have probably grabbed everybody. But I mean, it's it is what it
Yeah.
is. And Bryan, the content you got from Schroeder was amazing. Like talking about her mask, like getting her mask ready for the. I would not even. This is what's so great about Bryan, guys. Is like I would not have thought to ask that question even
What was
after
our
having
one of our
boys.
questions was like, do you like dino nuggets?
That would have been a good one. That actually, in hindsight, that would have been a pretty good one to have, because we
You
did get
did.
that one time. I wanted to go to talk to Kayla Barnes about some of the camp invites, Brooke, Bryan, and Lily Jovedich,
Okay.
coming from California, because now there's like a little bit of a California contingent at training camp.
Not only that, a Lady Duck contingent.
Right?
Like, let's talk
Yeah.
about
Very
that.
happy.
So I wanted to ask her about that, but I didn't get the time to. But overall, I was like pretty happy with it. I know that I remember like back when I was in university, I had someone in our dorm was like in the radio and television arts program, and he had scored an interview with. This is a big tangent, but he had scored an interview with Peter Mansbridge, which, if you don't know who Peter Mansbridge is, he's kind of like the Canadian Walter Cronkite, right?
Ooh.
And so he was like, this is his first year in school, and he had some sort of connection where he managed to do an interview with Peter Mansbridge, and he came back to the dorm and he's like, I didn't get any of it. Like, I messed up hitting the record button.
Oh, no.
He lost it entirely. Like, he lost his entire thing. But he actually went on to be like this guy went on to be like an anchorman in Canada for the CBC later on in his career. So I was like, but I remember that sticks in my head. Like, this kid, his first year, he hustled to get this interview for school with this major broadcaster, and just ended up not having any of it. But that's partially why I checked to make sure that I had it recorded, and when I didn't, I re-recorded it. Anyway, a little bit of
Perfect.
The content that you got was great. We very much appreciate it. I think the audience appreciates it too. People are loving, our little snippet with her, and it's just, it's fun. It's like it's electric to be there with the players, and I think for a lot of them, like this is new to them too, right? Like this is not that, I mean, some of them well, no, all of them have played in the league except for Jenna. But she's a natural. I mean, Jenna Buglioni she is super natural in front of the camera, and like just very easy to talk to and record and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it just turns it up a lot. So anything else from that day that you want to talk about?
Well, no, not from that day. But it has been really cool, like to talk with Corinne Schroeder coming down, and like seeing looks on their face, but also like Carly Jackson posted some stuff on Instagram, and it made me think, like, it really brought me back to when my wife and I first moved to this area, like how amazing it is to move here. Like it just the natural beauty, and the people are kind of a little bit different. It really like brought home, like I was able to kind of live through them a little bit,
Yeah.
I was able to kind of feel nostalgic a little bit for my
Oh no, they posted a picture of sea
Yeah.
lions in the Sound, and I remember the first time I was standing on the beach and saw sea lions in the Sound, which, for those who don't live here, this is a regular occurrence. They just threw out there, it's not that unusual. And that was the picture. I was like, are you loving it? Are you loving it?
And the thing is, that stuff never gets old, but but there is something special about the first time that you kind of experience this area. And it's cool, like, to have the team, like, not only is it fun to like watch hockey and stuff, but like, they're kind of like an avatar for the community somewhat, and it's really cool to see them, especially because with the PWHL players, they're so expressive, and their personalities are so genuine that you like. I'm sure that the NHL players have that similar feeling, but you don't like connect to it quite as much, just because they're a little bit more guarded, and you know how it is, right?
Oh yeah. And sometimes you see them on commercials and you're like, why is that person acting? They should not be acting. Let them play hockey.
But can we talk about the jerseys, though?
Yes. That's so. I was gonna say, if there's anything else to talk about that day. If not, we are gonna talk about the jerseys, guys, because this is, and I want to talk a little bit, because I want to give my initial my initial reaction to everything that's happened. So we got the jerseys, and the home jerseys are already out there for sale, ready to go, and they are the inaugural season. They're calling them the inaugural season jerseys with the diagonal city name
Seattle.
across the front. So in the press release, it gave the information about that it was going to be the inaugural jersey, and these were the jerseys that they were going to wear for the first year, but that we were going to have a name and a logo prior to the season that the team would then have on jerseys in 26-27. So in my estimation, some people have mixed feelings about this, but I don't really care because this is my opinion and this is half of my podcast, so I can have this opinion. I am in love with this idea because I get my inaugural jersey, which is what I want, and I don't have to call them PWHL Seattle anymore.
That's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Like, I am so in love with this. So, and I cannot wait. My second take, and then I will let you go on the jerseys, is that I want them to put that cream away jersey for sale because I want that so hard. I will spend lots of money to get myself an away jersey.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
Bryan,
will
how do you
also say
feel?
that I'm also excited to get the name just because, like, well, we won't have to say PWHL Seattle anymore. But also, I think it would be cool to, even if it's not on the jersey itself, like to just have that identity that we can do. People can do art around. They can maybe dress up around. They can build chants around. Like
Yep.
really got me thinking. Like the identity of the team is so much more than just the logo. It's like the feeling of it. So I'm very excited to get a name and apparently a logo, I guess, like an identity, even if it's not necessarily on the jerseys themselves. But the jerseys themselves are,
Yeah, tell us. You saw them in person. Ours are coming on Tuesday, so we'll be
yeah.
able to see them in person on Tuesday. But I want to tell us what they were like in person. We haven't
Well,
seen them yet.
it's really interesting to me, like the color. So I volunteer at my daughter's school to do like art lessons. So there's a lot of like basic like color theory, like color wheel stuff. I thought it was
Tell
really
us all about it. Yes.
thought it was really interesting that Vancouver did like the complementary color thing. They took the blue, and then the opposite side of the color wheel, you get that kind of orange bronze, right?
Yeah, that
And then
mustard. I call it mustard. It looks like
yes,
mustard to me.
I
Okay.
think it's like earthy bronze is what they called it on the PWHL website. And then on the Seattle side, we did like the analogous colors. We like kind of kept it to one side of the color wheel with the green and like the blue near to it. So we're kind of, so they have like this contrasty poppy look, and then we have this kind of like cool subdued unified look. But
Yeah,
both
unified. I like that word,
but
Bryan.
both look really good to me. Both colorways look really good to me, but definitely different philosophies in terms of how they're put together. And then further to that, right? The Vancouver jerseys have on the home and away, they have the yoke, which is like the shoulder portion is like a different color, and then on Seattle, it's all unified in that slate green. So the yoke kind of like accentuates the shoulders. It makes it look a little bulkier on the silhouette, and it makes it look more like a hockey jersey. And then when you eliminate that, it kind of gives you like a cleaner silhouette. And I think it depends. It really depends on what you're going for. Like if you want something that's more chill and subdued and a little bit more like regular clothing that doesn't stand out as much, like they really hit that with the Seattle jersey, even to the point of like that blue line that they incorporate. I know, like I was thinking this, and Ava pointed it out in one of her videos. Like it matches like a light blue jean, like almost perfectly, and it really ties. Like if you wear the Seattle, a bunch of people have pointed this out. I think Dylan also from Emerald City Hockey was noticing this. Like it really, like the colors really match well with wearing blue jeans. And I thought it was cool when they had the 5 players come out. They had Kayla Barnes and Jenna Buglioni. They were like in a light jean.
I know.
Right.
I'm trying to think
Yeah,
of the
that
picture.
it was all
They had
shades.
Hillary Knight in a darker jean, and they had Alex Carpenter with like a black jean.
Right.
I just want to say that this bodes really well for me, but
Yeah.
for my wife, I guess the mini skirt, but
Oh yeah. No.
jeans.
I have a whole no. I mean, we're gonna have to have a whole episode just talking about my outfits that I have planned for the season. Good grief, it's getting a little ridiculous. I have a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet of my outfits.
Can't wear the same thing too close together.
Not too close together, and maybe not at all. There's only 13
Well, they
hosts.
kept the cream. I know that you were worried that they might not have the cream.
Yes. Well, so
yeah, you cannot give a spoiler.
I will say it. The whole thing is, and people will see these boots. I bought these boots specifically because I was like, they will go with a cream accent or a cream jersey. And so I was like, I want these boots. So I bought these boots. And when that first reel came out and it looked like it might be black, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, this is the worst thing ever.
It's drama.
Black because, and part of me thought because of the Kraken third jersey is the black jersey, right? I was like, they're going with black to like, and obviously that's not what they did. But maybe we'll get
I know. I was hyping the black too. I was like, oh, I think they might do black. It's like Hillary Knight likes to wear a lot of black. Like, oh,
that's true. She does in real life. She wears a lot of black.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it worked out really well. And I was, and you were worried about, because we were talking about like, oh, the generic logos, they both have the cream, and you were going cream. And it's like, oh, who's going to get, is Vancouver going to get cream in the divorce, or is like Seattle going to get cream in the divorce? But
who's going to get creamed in the divorce?
We got joint custody over the cream.
We did. We got joint custody of it. It's great.
Yeah. And so what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, the diagonal stripe I think works really well for Seattle.
Not as well for Vancouver.
Vancouver flying a little close to the sun.
Yep.
With that many letters diagonally, I think they pull it off. But I think if there was one more letter, if it was Vancouver's.
We'd be screwed.
Yeah.
Or La Vancouver.
Or La Vancouver, then it would be trouble. But I think it works. I don't. But they're flying close to the sun with that many.
Is there any other city names that have that many letters in them? I don't think they're it.
No, I counted. Montreal is close, and New York with the space is kind of close, but they have the most. I know, like in the 90s, the Pittsburgh Penguins had.
Oh yeah, Minnesota has a bunch of letters. Is Minnesota? Oh, we got somebody.
Brian's
fact checker.
We have to go back and look, but maybe Minnesota was too. Yeah, we'll have to go. I'll have to go and look at Minnesota, but
yeah. And for those that like to tuck jerseys, you don't want to tuck below below. You don't want part of the name to be cut off because you're tucking the front of it in. So no, it's great. I'm very excited. Vancouver.
But I think they did pretty well. I'm impressed with both of them. Like it seems like it's gonna work out, and they sold so many of them. Like the generic ones without any names on them are sold out. And I love that they reported.
Good call on that, babe.
Yeah, that's what we ended up with. We decided to do the no name because I'm like, no, don't get me wrong, I love all you players. Like, don't hear me wrong, but like, I'm not like so in love with one person right now that I'm like, I want their name on the back. So I was just like, oh, we'll go no name for the inaugural. So
well, and I've also heard some people say that they like the ones without numbers because like when they sit in their seat, they feel a little weird with the numbers on the back. I think for most people it's not a problem, but some people like the blanks for going to attend a hockey game because they can sit and not have any numbers on their back.
I didn't think about that, but
lots of room for signatures too.
That's true. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that either.
But we outsold Vancouver, right?
Yeah. So that's the big headline. The big headline is that it was the #1 selling jersey day for PWHL period, and that Seattle sold the most jerseys of any team ever on their first day of selling jerseys.
It's not a competition, but we won.
Oh no. Why are we sports fans if it's not a competition? I'm so confused.
Well, I was gonna be like, it's a little unfair because like the jerseys were released in different ways in different years, and the original 6 when they released their official jerseys were like their second year jerseys. They had to compete against their existing people already having jerseys and stuff like that. So that's a little unfair competition. But us versus Vancouver, that's a totally fair competition.
And 1-1. Agreed.
And we totally won. So no, but I think
let me ask you this question. So like, I mean, and my wife too, like I'm going to ask you guys both this question. Like as long time, because I know you've been a long time hockey fan. And this is the thing here in Seattle, everybody has a jersey. Like when you go to the Bad K-word game, like
Yeah.
everyone is wearing some jersey. Like it is just a jersey culture here, like period, overdone. I mean, there's other Kraken gear, but people wear jerseys here. So I know you own a couple of Ducks jerseys as a longtime hockey fan. Like it's not unusual to purchase more than one, right? Like it's not like you buy one jersey and that's your only jersey for the rest of your life.
No.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like team apparel has become an important revenue source for
Yes.
teams, and that's really across North America. I think people
Yeah.
attending games in jerseys is incredibly common in every city, not just Seattle.
Yeah.
Where I think Seattle may have a little bit of a boost is I get the sense that, like, particularly at workplaces, there, and again, this is all across North America. I don't want to say that Seattle is unique. I think it's on the higher end of employers encouraging or at least allowing people to come into work, like Blue Fridays, or like
Your work does that, right?
Yeah, on
yeah,
Sundays you can wear that. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
but
And
it's a
my
football culture here, and I'm like, no, I'm going to wear my hockey stuff because
yeah,
it's Sunday.
my wife, like, works at a court, and they can come in right on Fridays. And so Casual Friday is sort of a really sports apparel Friday. And
Yeah.
so I think that helps drive, think about it, right? Like you buy this, it's expensive. It's like
Yeah.
over $200 if you get it with the numbers, and it's
Yeah.
over $100 if you get it without.
Yeah.
Um,
And those are
and
replica
you,
jerseys. Those aren't even real jerseys. I mean, not that
uh,
they're not real, but
um, and but now like, oh, I can wear it on Fridays, right? It
Yeah.
kind of it helps you justify the purchase a little bit more, that you can uh, that you can bring it into to bring it into work, or wear it elsewhere. And I think Ava was saying, like, yeah, she was kind of poking fun at Seattle a little bit, like, instead of having fashion sense, we have like their
Sports
style
fashion.
game has been replaced with sports apparel. But
I would like to posit that we can do both because
yeah.
I'm wearing a double hockey sticks, shirt right now. And I have a
Mm-hmm.
style, very cute. It's very cute. But it's
Yeah.
like, so shout out double hockey sticks. Thank you for this.
love the shirt.
Love the shirt. It's
Yeah.
great. Take me to hockey games and tell me I'm pretty. Like who doesn't want that? So anyway, but I think that number one, like I think this is a whole discussion we can have about the fact that, like, especially with women entering the sports arena, like now we're talking about like apparel is more than just a jersey,
Yeah.
right? Like we're talking about like how can I accessorize, how can I make it fashion, right? Because like, and not even joking around, but like I'm thinking about what I'm going to be wearing to the games. Like this is important to me as a female that's into that. And I get it, like there are other women that are not as into that. Like I'll throw on a t-shirt and jeans and go to a game, but like for me, like I want to dress up, I want to look cute. It's an event for me. And
Yeah.
so I think that there is such a market, and I think that Seattle does a great job. I mean, especially the hockey community. Like I said, going to a Kraken game, it's not just jerseys. Like, I mean, that woman, there was a sparkly jacket woman.
Oh
I kept
yeah,
seeing all over the
bedazzled.
arena. I mean, it's like it's amazing what people do and the creativity. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what people are going to be wearing to the games. So
Yeah, I am too. I think also it's the, I know that when we went to the season, we ended up getting tickets to the season ticket holder like tour of Climate
oh yeah,
Pledge Arena, and
yeah,
when we were there, even though we're not season ticket holders,
honorarily,
but
Bryan, whatever.
we got to go into the lair, which is like the team store in CPA, and we were talking to the one of the employees there, who I guess has been working there since year one of the Kraken. He was really excited about PWHL. I know. I think I was wearing my PW. I was probably wearing my Kraken hat. Ava was wearing a PWHL toque, and was getting asked about that. But we talked to
He's so Canadian. He just called it a toque. That's cute.
it's what it is.
Or a beanie if you're
But we
from,
were talking.
this side of the border.
we were talking to him about the like, oh, are you gonna make it? And he was mentioning that they were thinking about, like, maybe having some area in the team store for PWHL gear. I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to do. And there's a lot of cracking. Like, they have
Yeah.
such a
So
variety.
what they told us when we
Yeah,
were there, because we were there for the Kraken home opener, and we walked through because we're like, do you guys have any PWHL gear out? Because that's what we care about.
yeah,
And they said that the person we talked to, who was somebody who sounded like he knew what he was talking about, that was like messing in the jersey wall. He said what he thought they were going to do is they were going to clear out some of the Kraken gear for PWHL games and put in PWHL gear like in place of. So
yeah.
I think that, and we're like the whole store, and he was like, no, not the whole
No,
store. But
no,
we're
that
like,
would be
yeah, that would be
ridiculous.
a lot. But still, even to have a section, especially if like the jersey wall, like if they could switch out, all the Kraken jerseys for, PWHL jerseys, like that would be amazing. And
Yeah,
I don't this was in one of our group chats that we're in. Somebody was saying, or maybe it was, I don't remember. I think it was something Ava was a conversation Ava was involved in, that she said that the away jerseys for Montreal were only
yeah.
available in store. They weren't, you couldn't order them online. So then I'm like, well, get me to the lair tomorrow. Like if it's there, I'm gonna buy it, but they're probably not there yet. So
Or yeah, or like, will there be special merchandise that's only available in store? Will it also be available online? I think it would be really cool. Like it, I understand why for cracking games they want to have the maximum variety of cracking things. I think it would be really cool to have like a little section with PWHL stuff, if only so that like, if you're interested in going to a PWHL game and you're also a Kraken um, season ticket holder, or you're just attending a Kraken game, you can buy it at the Kraken game so that you can arrive at the PWHL game while already having it. And because
or one of the kiosks, right? Because they have, I mean, like the layer is great, which is like the big team store for those that haven't been to Climate Pledge. But they have scattered throughout the arena, they have these little kiosk stores. So even like if they had some, during
yeah,
the Kraken game, if they would have one of the kiosk stores converted into PWHL, that would be,
And all of them during the PWHL
well, yeah,
games.
I mean, yeah, but
that's a given.
I should be a given. But like, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens, and we'll report back for
And
sure.
also
But
the team store at Kraken Community Iceplex
which is
is
the
a good
practice facility, yeah, for sure.
practice facility. But I really like their team store. It's smaller than the one at Climate Pledge, but it's a really cool spot. It has windows that overlook the figure skating rink, and it's right across from the Starbucks. And
Right across
I
from the
really like
Starbucks.
going there. It's a lot of fun to buy things there, because you can go when it's not necessarily game time also.
Right.
But it would be cool if they have that. I know that Circling Seattle Sports, like, they had an episode where they were talking about the jerseys, and they mentioned like making sure that uh, for when you're buying in person, it's more complicated than just having stock, because you also need to be able to apply the numbers and the nameplates. So you need to
Right.
have that in stock and kind of in a location where those things can be applied. So that's another consideration. But they do have all that equipment at the Iceplex. So
Yeah, they have it at the lair and at the Iceplex. Yeah, because I know, because Alicia got her at
At
their
the lair?
jersey at the no at the
At the
Iceplex.
Iceplex?
Yeah, she was up at the Iceplex when she got hers.
yeah.
So
Okay.
So for people listening, like, if you're looking for places to go buy, those are good places too. And I think there's
well,
some.
we're crossing our fingers that they're gonna have PWHL go. We haven't actually seen it in
Yeah.
merchandise. Obviously, we just got jerseys, so but we haven't even seen
They're on the way.
we haven't seen the other merchandise that they have had out, any merchandise anywhere in
Yeah.
person. At least I haven't. I don't know if you have, Brian.
No, I haven't. I'm also curious, like, if they're releasing a logo, if we might not, and they say that we're not going to get jerseys with the logo on it until next season, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense, because if they announce, like, oh, like sometime mid-season we'll have jerseys with the logo, then maybe they'd get fewer sales of the inaugural
Yeah,
ones, right?
they need to wait till next
But
year for
I
sure.
am curious if mid-season we might get something like hats or other apparel that does have some sort of logo on it. I am curious about that because
Yeah, I was curious what they would have the logo on, because if they're going to why introduce it if you're not going to put it on something or
I actually agree with Bryan. I think that from a marketing PR standpoint, like having a name and having a name, a brand, to start the season because of like chance and just like what do we call it? Like how do we advertise it? Because right now the first question, I'm not even kidding you. When I tell people that we have a women's hockey team, the first question they ask me is,
what's
the name?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the
Names
name
are
is
important.
PWHL Seattle. And they're like, what? And I was like, yep, there's no name yet.
And the other thing that you see is like, so people do wear jerseys, like I said, on Fridays or team apparel days at work. But mostly what people are wearing around in terms of the Kraken, you see a lot of Kraken apparel, even up here, like as north as we are. Lots of people wearing, but it's mostly like t-shirts and hats, right?
Yeah.
And that's what gets
that sort of thing. Yeah.
That's what creates your brand awareness the most. And just having Seattle on a hockey jersey is like, oh, there must be like a Seattle hockey team. What's that about? But if it's just Seattle on a hat, it's not going to have as much of an impact in terms of people asking questions about, oh, what's that hat about, as like actually having a logo on a hat. So
Agreed. Okay, and I'm going to pause you really quick because I totally forgot that we're supposed to be repping these hats that we have on.
We are repping them. They look awesome.
I know, they do look really awesome. Speaking about logos on hats, we were gifted these hats. The brand is called Rose Bloom, and it's Emily, and their hats actually made for women.
They're made for women, and they fit better. Yes. Like they're awesome.
She specifically designed hats for women. They have shorter bills. They have silk. They're silk lined. She has a bunch of different kinds, and it's funny because when she first sent me the link, she sent me the link that has the opening at the top that you can like pull your hair through, and I looked at her and I was like, you do know that both my wife and I have very short hair. Like we don't have hair to go. She's like, no, I have like full hats too. So I will definitely we'll put these out on social media. But I just wanted to say, like, this is there's a whole market for clothing and merchandise and all this thing for women, for women's sports and all this. So yeah, I'm excited because I agree with you. I think that that's what creates brand awareness, is people just wearing it in their everyday lives and then people asking them about it. What is that? And like I said, the first question I always get asked when I talk about the women's hockey team is, what's the name?
Yeah.
Well, what else, Bryan? What else do we need to discuss today?
I don't know. I think that's it. I'm like, we can talk about a little bit about training camp coming up. I know we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about training camp in the future, I hope.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, we have a plan. We kind of have a plan right now, just so everybody knows that. And I don't know if we said it on the podcast yet, but I think the November 5th is when most of the team is showing up, and then the 7th is when any of the players that are playing internationally are set to show up. And then on the 11th, there's an open practice for the media. I think it's just for media, but there's an open practice that we're going to try and all go to get some content and talk a little bit more about who's there and what's going on and what it looks like as far as who's gonna be part of the team.
And I think and also we're going to be going up to Vancouver we
are going to be going up to Vancouver for the
very first game for PWHL.
Yeah.
There's so many things coming up that are like really interesting, but that we're going to have lots to talk about in the future. Like, we don't need to like talk about them all right now, but like
no, we're gonna do a little teaser. We'll do a little teaser. I know, Patty.
This is off the cuff.
I know. I said I wasn't gonna do it. Now I'm gonna do it.
Wow.
So stay tuned, especially to our Instagram account, guys, because we're probably gonna be running a little giveaway. We may have a couple extra tickets and some bus seats to get up to the game in Vancouver if you're coming from the area. So yeah, I know. Right, I know. So keep an eye out. It'll be coming. I think I'm going to do it closer to game day, and I'm not going to and we're not going to do it this far
November
out.
21st. So make sure
November
you open up
21st.
your calendar.
November 21st is the game, and I think the big thing we're worried about is like you have to have a passport to cross the border.
Yeah.
Like, if you're coming from Seattle, like you have to have a passport to cross the border. So, but we will, like I said, stay tuned to our Instagram account, and we'll let you guys know, because yeah,
It's exciting.
we want all the fans to come. There's a big group of us that are going. There's a big section of tickets that the team,
Over 100 people.
yeah, that the team got for people that, so we're gonna all sit together and we're gonna cheer the
Root
heck
on our
out of the
team.
Vancouver team.
It's super exciting. I keep on thinking about, like, the movie Slapshot. I don't know. Have you seen that?
I still haven't
Of
seen
course
it.
I've seen it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe my wife hasn't. I can't believe I haven't forced my wife to see it.
We need to
So-
we need to maybe we need to like get together and watch Slapshot or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's some great scenes in that movie, which is problematic in a lot of.
It is very problematic and
You watch that movie,
hysterically funny at the
There's
same
some
time.
things that haven't aged very well, but it is very funny. But at one point that the fans go on a bus to like travel with the team, and there's a lot of iconic and very quotable moments from that. So when I imagine us from Seattle going up to Vancouver on the bus together, I'm kind of like thinking about. I'm kind of thinking a little bit about Slapshot and making the bus look mean and all that great stuff.
We're gonna come in with a vengeance. Primary tenant and Vancouver fans, you better watch
You
out.
ready?
We're
You
coming
ready?
for you? No, all good fun rivalry. We're excited, frenemies or whatever we are. We're excited to see everybody when we get up there, and we're excited to get to cheer on the team at their first game. So,
First game ever. Gosh.
yeah. Okay, well, so much more to come. Bryan, you're going to come on. We're going to get you on here more. It's all just about scheduling, guys.
I want to talk about hockey. I want to talk about the players and the lines.
Yes.
And the
so I think
pairings and
well, we can,
all that.
and we'll do a little bit, like we'll do this. I'll do a little more teaser. So we have already got planned. Bryan and us have already got planned. We're hoping that the Monday before the first game that we're going to drop an episode where we kind of do just a little overview of all the players on the team and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in what's going on in the team, and we'll give out all the information that we know in that. So, and another little teaser. Oh my gosh, we've got guys, we have so much stuff. I know I'm such a tease, but we have so much stuff coming up. It's crazy, it's exciting, but we can't wait to actually see our team play. And Bryan, aka our Buckles. Thank you.
I was just watching Jocks and Jills, and I'm like, but I can't. Buckles is so charismatic. Emma Buckles is so.
Oh no, but she's also not. Like, that's what I love. Like, I love her deadpan so much. Like, it's perfect. Like, she's hilarious. And Bryan, you can be. I believe in you.
Okay, I'll the training montage of me watching like footage of Emma Buckles and just like putting the hat backwards and.
Yes, we are there for it.
All right.
Okay. I think that's all. That's all we got for
it.
today.
Yeah.
Okay. Bryan, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.